Now, 2015 seems to be the year that a lot of progressive metal bands are embracing the progressive side of their name, as opposed to the metal side. This is very clearly seen here in Between the Buried and Me's new album, Coma Ecliptic. Now, it's a rock opera. The album is a rock opera. It's a concept album, sort of like the last album was, but this one is a lot more straightforward. As to where the last album, the story kind of carried on from a few other songs from previous albums and kind of concluded with that album. This one, the story's contained all nice and neat within the album. The story behind it is it's an unidentified man who's in a coma, and each song he's drifting between like a different dimension, so to say, in his past life, and he's offered a chance he can either stay in that instance that he's in, or he can go on to find a better one. Now, does he get out? Does he die? What happens? I don't know. You just have to listen to the album and find out. This album it is a rock opera. It's sort of reminiscent of Dream Theater's Scenes from a Memory album. Now, the album starts off with the first song, Node. It kind of makes you feel like you're very sleepy because it's very slow, it's very drony. But from there it picks up. Now, one really big difference I find with this album is the transition in between different movements and different songs is a lot better than it's been on previous albums for these guys, because a lot of people's complaint with Between the Buried and Me is they'll start off with an idea really good, and then all of a sudden they change direction and turn left, and it's very abrupt, and they lose a lot of people like that. It isn't really like that on this album. Yes, they do change movements and they change ideas, but the transitions in between them are very fluid and very nice. They're not jerky. It's a very seamless handoff, which I think it works very well here, because yeah, you have movements and stuff, but it isn't very confusing and it's very easy to follow. Same thing with the story. I really feel like with this album they had a goal in mind, and they had tunnel vision on it, and they went right for it, and it's very organized. Now, Dim Ignition, which is the third track off the album, it sounds like it could have been off of Blade Runner. It has a very 80s vibe to it, but it's also very cool, and it's very chill, and it's very laid back. It's one of the shorter songs on the album, but it's also one of my favorites. Ectopic Stroll is one of the more vintage Between the Buried and Me songs on the album. It has a lot of movements, has a lot of transitions, and it bounces around a lot, which it does, like I said before, it does it very smoothly, so it does it very well. Now, the way the song starts off is it's very funky. It's gonna make you start banging your head like this, and it takes you through a trip. It's one of the more cooler songs on the album. Now, the last song on the album, Life in Velvet, kind of starts off like This Love from Maroon 5, which is not a bad thing because it's very catchy. Now, this whole album, I find it's more melodic than the past couple albums, because like I find a lot of the songs actually got stuck in my head after I listened to them. And I don't know, this album to me, it's their best album in their catalog. Yes, I know I'm probably going to get burned alive for saying that, but I really like it. I think I like it better than the last album because the story is a lot more linear. It's a little more easier to follow, and I find this album a lot more easy. It's a lot easier to listen to. Well, I mean, once again, I don't give albums actual grades, but this album is going to be one of my top 10, if not top 5 albums of the year. Now, these guys are going out on tour very soon in the summer, in July. You need to go check them out. I saw them live a couple months ago. They're very excellent. Definitely need to pick up this record. You definitely need to check it out. It's definitely worth it. Alright guys, I'm out.